Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and thank you for stopping by. I know that nobody's here yet, but I'm sure that there will be people coming in any second now. You say, well, wait a minute. You say you're going to do a live stream this week, but you didn't exactly say what day. Well, that's a long story, and I had a lot of things I had to get ready for this live stream. There's no question about that. If you want to know, I prepared all this. Plus, I got more notes. As you have been following me on Facebook, and I know some of you really have, you know for a fact that I was making a smartphone tutorial for the calculator. And I bet you're sitting there going, okay, where's your smartphone? I'm going to get that right now. So hang on just a second, folks. What is it? My smartphone. Yes, there's a whole bunch of papers all over my bed. As you well know, I have been preparing another Kindle book. It's going to be called PTCB on a Budget. And I see there's a second person on live stream. Please let me know who you are, because I will have no idea who's tuning in. So please let me know what's going on. Let me know who you are. Here's what I've got this lamp over here. I'm hoping it'll provide just a little bit more light. When I did the initial picture, it was really blinding my head. Hello there, Danny Watts. I'm glad to see you. I'm going to go ahead and make an announcement on Facebook here, and let's see. Oh boy. I'm going to try to let people know that I'm here. Let's see, who else do I want to? Yes, I know who I want to invite. I do want to promise you guys something, though. I'm going to promise something right now. This is going to be a much longer live stream than the last one. Much longer. So we're going to be covering a lot of material today. I invited Survival on a Budget Made Easy, and I also invited Crazy Josh Cravey, and hopefully I'll see them here. I see that we now have, we had 3 people there for a second. If you come on the live stream, please let me know who you are so I can say hello, because I'll have no idea. How has your week's been going? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going on here in Illinois. We are about to get snow, and what's even worse is we're going to get extremely cold temperatures. Really cold. We're talking below 0 here, and the wind chills are going to be worse, and that's not fun. Okay, we're going to do a couple of videos. Some of these are going to be like, why even bother? But I'm telling you, there's a reason for them, and if you know the reason, we'll get into that. Okay. Now, here's the thing. In this particular presentation, first of all, I'm going to tell you guys how to see the description box if you're using your smartphone to watch me. Okay, or watch any YouTube video. If you're watching YouTube videos on your smartphone, you need to know how to see the description box. I cannot tell you how many people said, well, I can't see the description box. Well, now I'm going to tell you how to do that. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, I am going to review the MyPillow. Yes, I ended up getting a MyPillow for Christmas. Wasn't that nice? Anyway, another thing I'm going to do in this particular presentation is I'm going to review a Christmas story. And the reason I'm going to review a Christmas story now is that next year when I get busy with retail Christmas again, the video will already be up. People will actually watch it, and I won't have to post something up over Christmas time. I can even advertise it as a Christmas in July. That's the way I can do that. I will also be reviewing the song Must Be Santa. But the big one for tonight, and I've already got the screenshots of it, is for your smartphone. I'm going to tell you how to use the calculator on your smartphone. There are a lot of features you probably didn't know even existed on your calculator. Boy, you're going to get a lesson tonight. So get ready, folks. You got some big things coming your way tonight. All right, so let's start with something simple here. I'm going to go ahead and, why is this tipping like that? That should not be tipping at all. Here, that's better. All right, I'm going to turn my camera on because I don't want people to have to go through a massive live stream just to watch a particular video. That's better. Okay. I want to be that far away. Here, that's better. Because I'm going to get, okay. All right, so let's get this started. That's looking right at me. Yeah, here we go. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted, the Speed Learner, and I know that you're looking at me at an angle. That's because I'm doing a live stream right now, and I have my That wasn't going too good. Besides, the camera was tipped. I see there's a third person in here. Whoever you are, please let me know who you are so that I can talk to you, whatever. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted, the Speed Learner, and I am here tonight. Oh, boy. All right, I see I have now a fourth person watching me. Whoever you are, please let me know who you are so I can say hello. All right, we're going to try this one more time. I don't always get it right on the first try. Anyway, here we go. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted, the Speed Learner, and I know what you're saying right now. You're saying, well, hey, and I totally lost my train of thought. I haven't done this in a while. I'm a little out of practice. It's just like a tricycle. If you or tricycle, come on. Bicycle would be more like it. It's just like a bicycle. If you haven't ridden for a while, you're not going to ride great the first time. But after a while, you get good at it, and there you go. So, just like a bicycle, we're going to try this one more time. We'll see if we get this right. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted, the Speed Learner, and I know you're seeing me at an angle right now. There is a perfectly good reason for this. The main reason is that I'm running a live stream right now. Yes, I saw what you said there, Danny Watts. You said you should do a practice round before you start recording. You know what? I totally agree with you. I've just been in kind of a rush in the last few days, trying to get notes and everything. I mean, come on. I wasn't on even YouTube for almost a month, and I'll tell you what I've been through the last few days has been pretty exhausting. I can tell you that I've been doing heavy duty research, not only for PTCB on a budget, but I'm also writing a book called, hang on just a second. It's called What's Square on a Straight Line? It will be about Euclid Book 10. And when you see it, you'll understand. And there was also some research I was doing for my sequel, Did You Remember Everything book. So I've been doing research on all three of these books while trying to prepare these notes for these videos. This was kind of an impromptu video, and there's a good reason why I'm putting this video up. The main reason is there's been a lot of people telling me, well, I can't see the description on your YouTube videos if I'm watching from my smartphone. Well, now I'm going to tell you guys why that is. I see there's a fourth person in our live stream tonight. If you're out there, please tell me who you are because I have no clue who's watching me outside of Danny Watts, which thank you very much for watching. But the rest of you, I just don't know who's watching me right now. So please tell me who you are and what's going on in your area. I know it's been super cold over here. It's going to get a lot colder. So there you go. Anyway, we're going to try this one more time. Here we go. Whoa! Hey, that didn't work. Out of that. Okay. My camera almost fell on the ground. That's never a good thing. I see there's once again a fourth person in our live stream. Whoever you are, let me know who you are. I'd love to say hello to you. So I'm looking forward to talking to you as well. Okay, we're going to try one more time. Hopefully we got to get the kinks out of the system. You know how that goes. So anyway, camera on me. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted, the Speed Learner, and I know you're seeing me at an angle right now, and that's because I'm running a live stream. My laptop is right here, and I have my Kodak Easy Share camera right to the right of me, and that's why you're seeing me at an angle right now. So if you're watching me on the live stream, that's great. But the reason I'm posting this video, and I do this because I don't want somebody to have to watch an entire live stream just to see a little lesson like this, okay? So what am I going to teach you today, okay? I have heard many a times that people cannot see the description of my videos if they are on my smartphone, okay? If they're on their smartphone watching me, okay, and I know I said my smartphone, but it's really your smartphone. If you're watching me on your smartphone and you cannot see the description on my videos, I'm now going to tell you how to do that, okay? So first of all, here's what I want you to do. First, unlock your phone, okay? Then I want you to tap the YouTube app, okay? And then I want you to pick any video you like. I mean, any one of them. Let's see here. Okay, I've picked a video. Now then, let's see. Let's go. Okay. I picked the wrong one. Hold on. Now, once you pick the video, if you will look right underneath the video, you will actually see the title of the video right underneath the video, okay? And I know you're not going to be able to see this with the camera here. I will post an illustration so you can actually see this. But if you look directly underneath the video you're watching, you're going to see the title of the video. Just to the right of that, you're going to see a letter V. Now, according to YouTube, that's an arrow. That's a down arrow. If you tap that, you will actually see the description of the video. And that's going to see all my hyperlinks and that kind of stuff. The main reason I taught you all of this is because recently I went to, I was in Decatur, Illinois, and I went to a house and I videotaped its Christmas lights. And then I told you guys in that particular video that there were hyperlinks in the description of the video. And I got replies back saying, well, I can't see those hyperlinks because I can't see the description of the video. And that's why I'm telling you all this. All right. So if you can, go over to my Christmas videos. They were some of the most recent videos I posted. And go ahead and watch those videos. And you will see hyperlinks in the description once you click that down arrow. Okay. So that's how you see the description box. And it's not just my videos that have them. You can watch, there's thousands, if not millions of videos out there with description boxes with hyperlinks inside of them. So go out there, watch them, and there you go. All right. Well, I want to thank you for watching this particular presentation. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned. How was that? I see that there are now 5 people watching me at this very moment. I'm glad for that. Thank you very much for tuning in, and please tell me who you are so I know what, I'd like to say hello and that kind of thing. So now, if you'll excuse me for just one little second, I'm going to go ahead and a lot better in your first few attempts. That's what Danny Watts said. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm a bit rusty. I haven't done this in about a month and a half. So, yeah, I haven't done this since Christmas. So, um, Danny Watts, I want to ask you, did you, when you were watching my Christmas video, actually see the description box and see the hyperlinks that were inside? Did you actually see that? I'd like to know if you did actually see that. While you're preparing your answer, I'm going to go ahead and grab my pillow over here. As you can see on the live stream here, this is an authentic My Pillow. Okay. It's time to review the My Pillow. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted, the Speed Learner. I know you're seeing me at an angle right now. That is because I'm running a live stream. My laptop is right here, and my camera is right over here. I have a Kodak Easy Share, and as I've said many times before, the main reason why I make these shorter videos like this is because I don't want somebody to have to go through an entire live stream just to see a little lesson, okay? So anyway, in this particular video, I'm going to actually review the My Pillow. I'm sure you have seen this advertised hundreds of times on television, and here it is, the actual My Pillow. I don't know what's inside this thing. No assembly is required. Thank heavens for that. No batteries needed. No nothing. Is it comfortable? Actually, it is. It's a very nice pillow. It's very comfortable to lay on. No question about it. However, I will say it is not a miracle, okay? It is a really nice pillow. It's really comfortable, but I wouldn't call it a miracle. Would I pay $50, $60 for it? Not really. $25, $30 would be more than adequate for something like this. It is nice. It is unique, but it's not something extraordinary, okay? You can have a nice, unique pillow, but not something super extraordinary. So anyway, that is basically, and I know you're sitting there going, man, that's not much of a review, but actually that is. I got it for Christmas, so I don't know how long it took to actually get here. All right, but it's not an exceptionally heavy pillow. It really feels nice, and I kind of like it, honestly. But to stand there and say that it's some miracle that's going to cause you to sleep better, exercise more. Trust me, you'll be better off. So, is it a good pillow to have? Yes. Is it something that's a miracle? Nah, I wouldn't go that far. So anyway, I know that's not much of a review of the My Pillow, but there you go. All right. I wish to thank you very much for watching this particular presentation. If you have any questions for me, let me know. All right. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned. Okay, Danny Watts said, I'm on my computer so I can see it. Well, I'm glad. But if you're ever watching me on your smartphone, which I don't know if you ever will or not, but if you do, now I will tell you in a future video, I will actually show you guys how to make an internet connection with your internet. See, I have Comcast internet. I can connect my phone to the Comcast internet. Okay, Danny Watts. You have to take into account that it's made in the U.S. That's going to make it more expensive than an equivalent product made in China. Oh, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Um, there's nothing particularly wrong with the pillow. Never was. I never said anything wrong. It's just they're making it out to be some kind of a super miracle pillow, and I'm like, it wasn't that miraculous. It's nice. Oh, it's a very nice pillow. If you get it, you'll really like it. But to stand there and say that it's going to miraculously make you sleep and all this other stuff, yeah, not quite. It's not quite that good, no question, but just not that good. But it is well sewn. It's high quality. So I would say yes. If you can get your hands on one, fine. I just wouldn't pay $60 for it. That's just my thing. So anyway. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to review the Christmas song known as Must Be Santa. Danny Watts says, yeah, the commercial seems to make it look like it's a revolutionary product. It's an interesting product. Don't get me wrong, it's just not revolutionary. So you got it right there. If you get one, it's really nice, and it's a nice thing to have, but it's not, you know. I think you're finally getting the picture. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's worth $30, no question about it. But I wouldn't pay 60. So anyway, but we are now going to review the song "Must Be Santa," and I do this because where I work, this song plays all the time on the PA system, and when you find out what I think of it, you're going to understand, and it'll make sense to you right off the bat. Okay. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted, the speed learner, and I know you're seeing me at an angle right now, and there's a good reason for that. I'm running a live stream right now. My laptop is right here, and that's why I've got this camera angled right towards me. I'm trying to get the lighting the way I really want it. It's not working quite the way I'd like to have it, but at least you can still see me, and that's the important thing. But why are we here? Well, the reason why we are here is because I'm going to review the song entitled Must Be Santa. There are many, many people that have sung this song over the years. I'm not really even sure who originally sang the song or who wrote the lyrics. If you know the answer to that, go ahead and place that right down here in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to recognize you and so on and so forth. I didn't do a whole lot of research on the song itself, but I'm going to review what I think of it, and I'm going to ask some questions about the song. So, anyway, since so many people sang this thing, it would be hard for me to just pick one or two people and say, whatever. All right, so let's just go through. I'm going to ask some questions about the song, and then I'm going to tell you what I think of the song. All right. Now, here's the thing. Supposedly, nobody really has ever actually seen Santa. I know that there are some people that say, well, in some stories and some songs, little children have actually seen Santa. Okay, if they have, that's great, wonderful. Doesn't matter either way. But if we are to go under the assumption that nobody has ever really actually seen Santa Claus, how would they know whether his beard was long or white? And how long is this beard? And what shade? There are different shades of white. Some of those shades of white actually go down to almost a gray. So is this thing a pure white, or is this like a more gray white? They didn't really actually specify in the song. Now, I agree that Christmas Eve is a special night, but there are a lot of other special nights. How about the 4th of July? That's a special night. How about Valentine's Day? That's a special night too. Ask anybody that has ever fallen in love or ever actually got married, they'll tell you just how special that night is. And I have to say, Easter's a special night. What about Halloween? Is that not a special night? Thanksgiving. I mean, you sit around the table, you're thankful for everything you have. You're telling me that's not a special night? Yeah. They didn't really specify which night they're talking about. Okay? I mean, you'd think so, but really, if you think about it, not quite. Anyway, nobody has ever asked what brand of boots that Santa actually wears. I mean, this is merchandising here. I mean, think about it. He could actually work for a company. That's probably how he pays for all of his toys. He works for a company. He has these branded boots, and he gets to show them off, and people get to see what brand of boots he's wearing. And then, yeah. I mean, think about it. There are a lot of ladies out there that wear Halston dresses. Well, there you go. Anyway, carrying on here. And who is the person creating Santa's suit? I mean, is it a clothing brand like Old Navy, or is it a Halston company, or what? I mean, I know they have that Tommy, whatever it is. I can't think of all the. I mean, think about it. He could actually he could be paid to promote a clothing line. Nobody ever thinks about this. How long is the cap on Santa's head? Nobody ever answers this. Why is Santa's nose so red? Okay, if he's developing hypothermia, maybe he needs some skin grafting. Nobody ever asks. Maybe he has some kind of an infection, a cold, maybe the flu, and he's delivering presents. I mean, would you want Santa with the flu coming in your house? People don't think about stuff like this. So anyway, what humorous stories make Santa laugh? I mean, what does he do? He just comes into a house at some point, sees some awkward Christmas tree like the Charlie Brown Christmas, and says, "Oh, look at that tree." Anyway, let's go on here. How heavy is that sleigh? I mean, think about it. It's being pulled by 8 reindeer. That must be a pretty dang heavy sleigh. I mean, what they do, he puts the reindeer on a treadmill to make them nice and strong. Nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever asks the question of the origins of the reindeer names. How many people know this? Think about it. Anyway, now that I've asked all these questions, I'd like to see if anybody out there can actually answer any of them. Go ahead and leave your comments down here in the comment section below. But anyway, you guys are wondering what I think of this song. Well, the version that plays, and there are a lot of versions out there, I found that out. But one of the versions that plays is very annoying. Okay, it sounds cute at first, but if you've heard this 100 times, it's a very annoying song. And if I never heard the song again, it'd be too soon. Honestly, it's just, I suppose for little kids it can be fun, but for me, it's just annoying as thunder. Although those questions were very interesting. So now you know what I think of the song. It's just, it's silly. It's great for kids, but not for me. No, you can skip that one. No way. I can think of far better Christmas songs than that. All right. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned. Woo. All right. ILR SNC says hello, and hello to you as well. I am glad you tuned in. I'm sorry I wasn't able to respond to you, but I was in the middle of recording another video, so please be patient on that. All righty. And anyway, now let's get into the slightly more difficult videos. Okay. The next video I'm going to cover is I'm going to review the movie A Christmas Story. Like I said before, the reason for this is that if I get busy next Christmas or even have a Christmas in July, I can have this already on the air and they can watch this. Okay. And this is a perfect time of the year to get this up on the air. So that's exactly what we're going to do. All right. Here's my notes for a Christmas story. Are you guys ready? Are you set? Because here it comes. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner. And if you're seeing me at an angle right now, there's a perfectly good reason for this. I'm running a live stream at the moment. My laptop is right over here, and you're seeing me at an angle because I'm taping this on a Kodak Easy Share. The main reason for this is that I don't want you to have to sift through an entire live stream just to see my review of A Christmas Story. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing here tonight. I am actually going to review the movie entitled A Christmas Story. Now, at first glance, this thing looks like a very fun movie, and I'm sure that if you're watching it for the first time and you're not thinking truly academically, that this movie is going to be great, fantastic for you. Fine. But we're going to give it an academic review, and the academic review is going to be a little different, okay? And you'll see why as I give you these questions. Now, first I'm going to ask a bunch of questions about the movie, and then afterwards I'm going to go ahead and review it, okay? So hang in there. Now, we are never told the name of the narrator of the story. I'm assuming it's the kid that was featured in the story. Okay, and we'll get into that in just a second. All right. The narrator mentions the street he's living on, but doesn't mention the town he's living in. We have no idea what town he's living in. Okay. The narrator never mentions the number of days before Christmas. Obviously, it's close to Christmas. That's exactly what he says. But he never says specifically how much time there is between the start of this story and Christmas. Okay, so obviously at this point, the narrator finally confirms that he is the older version of the kid that we actually see in the story. Okay. The narrator never states at the beginning of the movie where his younger self is going. You see, the younger kid is running off, and um, but you never see where you don't. He doesn't say, "Hey, this is where I'm going." Okay. And then the narrator mentions a Bacchanea. What the heck's a Bacchanea? They never answer that question. And as the movie goes on, what building are we looking at? And why is it suddenly nighttime? That's never answered. And what was that vendor selling? Okay, this is near the beginning of the movie. It's like in the second scene. The vendor is selling something, but we never see what he's selling. I saw soldiers in this part of the film. Were they returning war heroes or was the war still playing out? That's never mentioned. Okay, so we now know the kid's name is Ralphie. So we have the narrator, he's an older version of Ralphie, and then we have the kid himself, and his name is Ralphie. What was Ralphie and his brother fighting about? That is never told. And why aren't the bad guys wearing cowboy outfits? This is never told to us. Okay, here's an example of classic peer pressure. Okay, and there's nothing funny about the peer pressure that was done to this kid that was getting ready to stick his tongue on a light pole. That was just, yeah, that's classic peer pressure right there. Are you kidding me? That I don't find that funny at all. Okay, and no one offered to help Flick right off the bat. Oh, maybe they did, but the after a while they just kind of walked away and just left him there. Really? I mean, nobody actually went and tried to find help for him. Come on. We never see close up how the fireman got Flick's tongue off the pole. We never see that. We know it happened, but we never see how it's done. Why they just they could have. Well, I suppose back then even hair dryers would have been a problem, but they could have They could have put a candle up there or something to cause enough heat for that to melt it off and let his tongue loose. I don't know. Ralphie's father won a prize, but he doesn't know what it is? Really? If I'm participating in a contest, I want to know what the prize is. What's a mystery prize? Come on. Now, tell me something. Really? A freight box is delivered to your house at night? When does this ever happen? I've had freight boxes delivered to me all parts of the day, but I've never had one delivered to me at night. That just never happens. Okay. And Ralphie's father is not smart enough to recognize the word fragile. Really? That's stupid. Okay. And why was Ralphie listening to Little Orphan Annie? I mean, gee, I mean, this is a growing up boy. He's getting close to being a young adult, and he's listening to Little Orphan Annie. Really? And how long did it take for Ralph or Ralphie to receive his decoder pin? That's never said. I mean, what did he have to do to get that decoder pin? They didn't exactly specify any of that either. What did Ralphie's brother do to Ralphie's glasses? That's never told. And I'm getting a picture here that Ralphie is nearsighted. I mean, how much realistically is Ralphie able to see without wearing his glasses? And why didn't Ralphie's mother inquire about his glasses? Now, let me tell you something. After a certain point in the movie, I just quit asking questions because I wasn't even interested anymore in what was going on. Honestly, I could have cared less about the lug nuts. Really. Or I suppose the only thing I could ask about the soap is, did they have more than one variety of soap in the house? Maybe another variety of soap would have tasted better than the one he had. Or they didn't really go into why that particular soap tasted so bad. They didn't really discuss it as well as they probably should have. Uh, and how about the bully being beat up? That's not funny to me. It's tragic, actually. Um, I guess it's poetic justice, but still, at the end, it's like it's kind of tragic. I mean, wasn't there some teacher that could intervene and cause that not to happen in the first place? I think they could have done better. And I could have really cared less about that department store Santa. Really. What? So he has a bad day and he takes it out on all the kids? Yeah, that's a real good example of a Santa. That Santa should have been fired. Period. If you really can't handle children well, you should not be a department store Santa. That's just the way it is. What, the department store was so cheap that they got some bum off the street? Really? And the broken glasses. Let me tell you something. At this point, I really could have cared less about the broken glasses. If your glasses drop off your face, the first thing you don't want to do is start taking steps anywhere. You want to bend down and feel with your hand until you actually find the glasses. That's what you want to really crawl. I know this because I've had prior experience for myself. I've had glasses falling off of me, and I bend down and I try to feel around until I find them. You don't sit there and start taking steps forward. That's how you get glasses broken in the first place. And realistically, those dogs that flew in the house, how in the heck did they get in the house? Somebody leave the door open or something? Talk about an irresponsible father. And the whole thing about the turkey. Finally, the dogs get the turkey, even though this guy was trying to get some for himself. I could have cared less about it. It wasn't even funny. At this point, I was like, who cares? I could have cared less. It was the most stupid bunny suit I've ever seen in my life, but it was a bunny suit. That's all it actually was. It was stupid. And I could have cared less about the crosswords or the decoder ring. It just got to be more than stupid. So in the end, I really didn't like this movie in an academic sense. It was dull, boring. It was tedious. I was sitting there going, it's dragging, just literally dragging on me. And I was like, man, I'm done with this. So anyway, no, I did not. On an academic scale, I really did not like this movie at all. It was just, there was nothing mentally stimulating about any of this. I was like, oh, there's the stupid kid wearing the bunny suit. As a kid, I would have refused to put that thing on. I said, no way, no way in thunder. And the mother, being the way she was, if she really was the caring mother that she really needed to be, she wouldn't have asked her kid to wear that suit in the first place. She probably would have sent it back. Said, my boy is not going to wear this thing. It's embarrassing. Anyway, so no, I really did not like this movie at all. And I guess for people that aren't really trying to analyze it in an academic way, they might like it, but I found very little of it to be funny at all. I was bored almost the entire time I watched it. So anyway, those are my thoughts on A Christmas Story. If you want to answer any of the questions, you can go ahead and leave them right down here. You can leave the answers right down here in the comments below. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned. All right, Danny Watts says to ILR SNC, what does your display name stand for? Well, personally, I don't know myself, but hopefully you'll get the answer. Anyway, we do have another video that must be done. Sorry, my hands dry out this time of year. Really quite a pain in the butt. All right. I know that ILR SNC is on here right now, and Danny Watts is as well. If anybody else is on here, I see 5 people are watching me right now. Please tell me who you are so I can say hello, that kind of thing. All righty. It is time at long last. You thought it would never come, but it did. To go ahead and review the calculator on your smartphone. And yes, I do have screenshots of it, and I will blend them in as soon as I get a chance. You can watch that. All right, so let's do the audio part. And let's see here. Let me get rid of that. Okie dokie. Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I know you're seeing me at an angle right now. That is because I'm running a live stream, and I have my laptop right over here, and you're watching me on a Kodak EasyShare camera. And the reason I do this is because I don't want you to have to go through an entire live stream just to see a particular lesson, and this is a very important lesson to you. I am now going to continue my video series on the Samsung J3 Orbit smartphone by discussing the calculator that is included on your smartphone. Now, you would probably think to yourself, why would I care? It just looks like a basic calculator. Well, if you're holding your phone like this and you don't rotate your phone, it does look like a regular calculator. Now, I know you didn't see anything on my screen right now, but you will. And that's because I'm going to post a whole bunch of illustrations on this particular video that will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? So, as I go from illustration to illustration, just listen to me very carefully. Go ahead and take a look at your phone. If you do not own a Samsung J3 Orbit and you own some other kind of phone, you can go ahead and take a look at those, and you'll see this for yourself. Okay, and you may even have more functions on your phone than even I do. And if you do, let me know. Leave it down here in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. All right. Now, the first thing I'd like to tell you is how to find the calculator on your smartphone. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to swipe your phone to the left like this. Okay, you're going to swipe your finger to the left. And then at that point, you're going to see the tools folder. Tap the tools folder. When you do, you will actually see that one of the things you can do is you have the calculator app. Tap the calculator app and your calculator comes up. Okay. Now at this point, if you have your phone like this, standing straight up and not tipping on its side, it looks like an ordinary calculator. It looks like a calculator you would have in your pocket. No big deal. All right. Now keep in mind that I'm a lot older than the rest of you guys are. So when I was a kid, regular calculators looked like that. This is the kind of stuff you would buy at a 5 and dime store. And you have like maybe 20 buttons on the whole dang thing, and that was it. So really, this was pretty non-sophisticated for a calculator, okay? But the looks of this can be very, very deceiving, and it definitely is. If you rotate your phone, you can find how deceiving this look really is, okay? The first thing you're going to see on this calculator are the digits 0 through 9. Well, that's not exciting at all. You're also going to see the addition symbol, the subtraction symbol, the multiplication symbol, and the division symbol. None of those symbols are exciting whatsoever, okay? And do I really need to make any commentary about the equal symbol? I think you pretty much got that figured out. If you have had any rudimentary mathematics, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you've ever dealt with decimal points at all, if you've ever had elementary arithmetic, you've had decimal points. So really, the dot you see over there, that's a decimal point. You don't really need an explanation for that either. Okay? So at this point, you're like, well, gee, why are we even watching this? You'll find out. Okay, so let's start with the discussion of buttons you may not be so familiar with. Okay, and it depends on whether you've ever owned a calculator or not. Now, I know I've owned regular calculators. I've also owned scientific calculators. This is the TI-80. You can see this thing has a lot of functions. And if I were to do a full tutorial on this, we'd be at it for hours. We won't be doing that. Okay, so let's just go ahead with what we do have, and you'll see these illustrations on your screen. Okay, the first button is the positive and negative button. Okay, if you've ever dealt with positive and negative numbers, this is what you would actually press to turn a number from positive to negative, or turn a negative number into a positive. Okay, that's how you use that button. Now, what about the percent button? Well, what you would do in that particular case is say, let's say you want to type in $50. Okay, you type that into your calculator, and then you type in 25 and press the percent key. It's going to give you 25%. You can actually multiply. You can say $50 times 25%, and it'll give you the 25% of that. Or you could subtract 25%. You could say $50 minus 25 and hit the percent key, and bam, that's what you'll get is what's left. You'll say, okay, that's 75% of the price. All right. So that's how you'd use that. Now, I'm sure you've also seen the percent key, not the percent, the parentheses key. Okay. Well, if you've done any rudimentary mathematics, you already know that everything that's contained inside of parentheses is solved first, and then you solve for the outside. Everything inside the parentheses is solved first, then it's solved on the outside. And that's what you use that parentheses key for. Now, the next thing you'll see is the large letter C. Okay. Well, that large letter C is basically your cleared. Whatever you have displayed on your screen will automatically be cleared. All you have to do is tap that C and it goes away. Okay. So that's all it does, really. Okay. Now, at this very moment, your calculator appears to be a very simple calculator. If this was true, I'd end this video right now. But I think you've already figured out by now this is not as simple of a calculator as you thought it was. Let me tell you what else this calculator can do. All right, let's start with the clock icon. See, wait a minute, there's an icon with a clock? Yep. If you tap that, you will see every equation that you have performed as you have worked with this calculator so far. All right. Now, what about the ruler icon? Well, this has to do with measurements, and you can actually convert measurements from one unit to another. Okay. Now let's go over what you can convert. Okay. You can convert acres, square centimeters, square feet, square inches, and square meters. Okay. Now, you say, wait a minute, how do I do that? Oh, let me show you. Get off of that. Yeah, we'll get off of that. All right. So what's going on here is that the first units that you can convert are areas. Okay. And these areas are acres, square centimeters, square feet, square inches, square meters. But there's also one that you may not have heard of before. And if you live in the United States, there's probably a good reason why, because this actually is a European measurement. The unit of measure that I'm referring to is the ARE. Okay. This particular measurement was created when the metric system was created, but the metric system is usually used in European countries and not usually used here. Okay. We here in the United States, we don't really use the metric system unless we're in the scientific field. Over there in Europe, that's exactly what they use. Okay. Now, an ARE, okay, is equal to 100 square meters, and a hectare is equal to 100 RAs. So if you're not measuring large tracts of land, you'll probably have no particular use for this measurement. So what other measurements can you convert? You can convert lengths of lines or distances. You can convert centimeters, meters, kilometers, inches, feet, yards, miles, and even nautical miles. But is that all you can convert? Oh, no. And once again, you have to go back to Europe in order to understand why you do not find this here. It is called a mill. You can actually convert something into a mill. What is a mill? Is it a windmill? I hope you don't think that, because it's not. The word mill is an abbreviation from the Latin word mille, which means 1,000. This measurement is very, very tiny. It's much shorter than an inch. As a matter of fact, it is 1/1000th of an inch. That's a pretty small measurement. What else can you measure with this thing? You can convert temperature measurements such as Celsius and Fahrenheit. That comes in real handy when you're dealing with the weather. Now, in the United States, we usually use Fahrenheit, but if you were to go to Europe, you would use Celsius. You'll find that out real quick. But you can also convert kelvins. What's a Kelvin? Well, to answer that question, you have to look up a man by the name of Sir William Thomson. He was knighted by Queen Victoria and was granted the title of Baron Kelvin of Larmes. If you want to do research on that, please go ahead and do so. So, okay, it's really fascinating research. So, what does this one measure? If you want to understand this measurement, consult thermodynamics. Look up the topic of thermodynamics, and you'll understand what a Kelvin is. If I were to explain all that in this video would be 40, 50, 60 minutes long. And I don't think you want the video to be that long. Okay? If you do, fine, but it's not going to be. So I might cover that in a future lesson. So hang on there. What other measurements can you convert with this thing? You can convert gallons. And I have to say that there actually is a tiny difference between a United States gallon and a European gallon. Now, the thing is, even though that difference is small, you start getting lots and lots of United States gallons and lots of European gallons, you'll find that the difference between the two grows exponentially. Okay? You can also convert liters, milliliters, cubic centimeters, cubic meters, cubic inches, and cubic feet. That's not all you can do. You can also convert mass measurements. Now, this is not to be mistaken as weight, okay? Weight is caused by gravity on the Earth. But even though your weight can change, your mass cannot. Okay? You have the same mass whether you're here on the Earth or on the moon or in deep space. You can go research that for yourself. Okay? You can convert tons. And yes, I have to say right now that there is a difference between the European ton and the United States ton. You can look this up all by yourself. You can also convert pounds, ounces, kilograms, and grams. Now, there's also computer information you can convert, and these are computer measurements. Okay, this involves bits, bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, and terabytes. You can also convert speed. You can convert meters, kilometers, inches, feet, and miles in either seconds or hours. Finally, you can also convert time measurements. You can convert things from milliseconds to minutes to hours to days and even weeks. If this was a basic calculator, right now you'd be jumping for joy. But this calculator has a surprise. But before I reveal the surprise, I will discuss one more icon. The icon I'm referring to looks like a green arrow. Inside the arrow is a letter X. Let's suppose you tap the wrong digit on your calculator. Do you want to erase everything and start all over again, especially if you're typing a very long number? Of course not. You can tap this icon to delete the incorrect digit. That's what that's for. Now, what about the other icon? There's one more. It's a square. Inside the square is a square root symbol, a pi symbol, a lowercase letter e, and an equal sign. What happens if you tap that one? As soon as you tap it and you rotate your phone like this, you quickly realize you've got yourself a scientific calculator. So what can this scientific calculator do? Well, let's take a moment and review all the buttons that you now see on your calculator. Now, if you have taken a trigonometry course, you will immediately recognize the sine, the cosine, and the tangent buttons. And if you have ever been taught in algebra about the mathematical symbol pi, you'll automatically recognize the radian key and the pi symbol right off the bat. Also, if you have ever enrolled in an algebra class, you will recognize a few more symbols. You will recognize the x squared key, the absolute value key, and the square root symbol. All of those are part algebra. But what if you wanted to raise a number to an exponent greater than 2? In other words, you wanted to cube a number or raise it to another exponent. This is when you would tap the XY key. That's what that thing's there for. Oh, don't do that. All right. The next key I will discuss is the logarithm key. In a way, it's the reverse of raising a number to a particular exponential power. So if you want to know what exponent would be required to raise a number called a base, like 10, to, you want to know how many times you have to multiply 10 to itself. Say you want to multiply 10 times 10 times 10. Well, you want to know how many times you have to multiply 10 times itself to get to the number 1000, you would use the logarithm key. When you're using this particular key, you have to presume that your base is always 10. This can cause problems. Now, the next key I'm going to be referring to you will also be making a reference to a guy named Euler. Now, I know his name is spelled Euler, but his name is pronounced Euler. Okay? And this key I'm referring to is called the natural logarithm. Now, I'm not going to take the time in this particular video to discuss natural logarithms because it would take far too long. But in a future video, I will teach you how they work. I don't think very many people who own smartphones will ever use this key, but I will tell you that if you want to know more about it, look up Leonhard Euler. By the way, oh, never mind. There are a couple of other keys associated with Leonhard Euler. The first key has a lowercase e imprinted on it. This refers to Euler's number. The second key has a lowercase e with an alphabetical exponent. The letter e on this key represents the base of a natural logarithm. The exponent itself, well, the exponent itself is self-explanatory. Okay? So, if you use that particular key, you're going to have Euler's number as your base, and then you raise it to whatever exponent you want to raise it to. The next key I will discuss is basically a fraction. The numerator of this fraction will always be 1. You could choose any number for the denominator of this fraction. What about the key that has the double arrows? Well, go ahead and tap it and see what happens. Do you see all the new keys? Wow. Let me tell you about how those keys work. Now, the first thing you should notice is the sine, the cosine, and the tangent keys. Now they have a -1 exponent. Why is that? Because they are inverse trigonometry functions. Okay? You have your inverse sine, you have your inverse cosine, and you have your inverse tangent. If you've taken any trigonometry classes, you know what that is all about. And one of these days, I'll explain that in a future video. Now we need to discuss the hyperbolic keys. Now this has to do with a hyperbola. Okay, if you remember Papa's Book 7, Proposition 238, you know that that proof included a description of the hyperbola. Okay, so these hyperbolic keys refer to that. Okay, and these keys are marked as sine h, cosine h, and tangent h. You are welcome to do research on all these keys. By the way, there are other keys that represent inverse hyperbolic functions. They are marked as sine h -1, cosine h -1, and tangent h -1. You can also calculate the cube of any number or the cube root of any number. And there is a key on your calculator that will allow you to raise the number 2 to any exponent you wish to raise it to. Now, the final key I will mention in this particular video is the factorial key. It is the key which has an exclamation point next to the letter X. Due to the fact that I don't want to overextend this video, I will allow you to research factorials for yourself. One of these days, I'll actually do a video and we'll explain factorials in detail. At this point, you now know how to use all the scientific keys on your scientific calculator. In my next video, I'm going to teach you about the clock function on your smartphone. Yep, you actually have a timer, which would be your alarm. You can also have a stopwatch. This thing can be your stopwatch, believe it or not. And I'll tell you how to do all of that in my next video. In the meantime, I want to thank you very much for watching this particular presentation. I hope you learned a lot. Let me know what you thought about my presentation in the comments down below. In the meantime, I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned. Ah, looks like we had a Say More Ducks join us. Hello. ILRSNC says, my display name stands for I Love Rock Springs Nature Center. Sorry for the slow response. I was away from my Android phone for a bit. What did you guys think of my calculator presentation? I would really like to know. All right. Well, I'm sorry to say that Survival on Budget Made Easy will not be joining us tonight. He's doing some other things, so but he will be watching this later on. I promise you that. But anyway, I really wanted to see what you guys thought of my videos, especially this calculator one. I think you guys will find this to be very, very interesting. So, anyway, as I'm waiting for your responses, anyway, ah, it seemed like it had a bit too much information about the origin of certain things. Well, the main reason I did it that way is because I thought maybe some people would get curious and would actually do some further research and look this stuff up. And I hope they do. I mean, you do remember this is an educational channel, and I think that got quite an education tonight. Um, but it might be fascinating for them. And it would give them a direction to actually look. They wouldn't have to just go, how am I going to find this out? Well, I actually had somebody, I was talking about the table of shadows. How many people have ever heard of that? Well, back in the day, turn off. There, that's better. Back in the day, when they were figuring out trigonometry, they had this tree, and they would go out in the daytime, and the sun would shine on it. And when it did, it would produce a shadow. And what they did was they calculated tangents based on the shadow of that tree, and that they came up with this uh, table of shadows based on the tangents that they figured out from the shadow of this tree. Go figure. Anyway, that's you know that was what was going on, and I didn't know if any of you guys had ever heard of it, but the person that was talking to me, and that's what I was trying to refer to. They couldn't find it right off the bat, and so I had to help them isolate their search terms so they actually could find it. And that's exactly what I was doing in this particular video. Was I was trying to help these people watching this calculator video try to find the very things that they were looking for, and hopefully help them out. So, when will these videos be posted? Soon. I don't know exactly how soon, but they will be posted soon. So, overall, folks, what did you think of this whole presentation? I have really plowed you guys with a lot of information. I think a lot of you people didn't think I was going to do this kind of thing tonight, but here it is. And the same thing I'm doing now with you guys, I will also do when I do my uh, PTCB on a budget. There'll be a lot of information there that you probably didn't even think existed, and that'll be good. All right, so anything else you guys want to discuss or anything? Because I'm right here right now. I didn't think I didn't think this particular presentation would go this long, but it did. Uh, I was kind of glad I did this. I really was. And I think when you guys see everything I'm trying to do, you'll be like, wow. So when will I be on again? Well, that all depends. Retail Christmas, well, not retail Christmas, just retail in general. I end up with some of these very odd hours. I had a really good chance to do stuff this week, and I was able to sit down and do them, but I don't always get that every week. And there you go. So I don't know what I'm going to be on next. I really don't. And when I figure it out, I'll let you know. What are your thoughts on Apple not including a charger in the iPhone 12 box? I have never been a fan of Apple products whatsoever. I don't like them. I was not a fan of Steve Jobs whatsoever. Apple is very proprietary, and I just don't like that. So that's my thoughts on that. You just will not see me buying Apple products, not unless I absolutely have to. There's my thoughts. Well, I'll tell you what. How would you guys like to see the Video Response Wars winner this week? Why not? We've got the time. All right. It is time once again for the Video Response Wars this week. And the winner of the Video Response Wars this week is none other than Crazy Josh Cravey. Congratulations, Crazy Josh Cravey. You are once again won the Video Response Wars. And what's he won it with? He has a video here. It's called On the Rocks. I'm sure he won't mind me going ahead and reviewing this. It's a 5-minute video. Let's see what comes up. This is the first time I've ever seen this, so let's have fun with this. Oh, wait. I guess I had better take off. Hold on. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. Uh-huh. Yeah. There's some music on this thing. I'm not sure who's made it. Let me. Now, the first thing I'm seeing here, it looks like possibly dolphins or something or another. And it looks like they've been carved into a piece of wood. And this wood is spinning. How large is this round spinning thing? And how long did it take to carve the dolphins? And what kind of wood was used in this thing? That'd be my first three questions. Okay, and who's singing the song that we're listening to at the beginning of this video? I also see it looks like possibly a duck or something in the water. What kind of a duck is this? I mean, or is it even a duck? Is it another type of bird? I don't know. Okay, in the video, what is this guy drinking? And what's he watching on TV? The gal in this video is wearing a ring. Was a present to her, or is there something special or significant about the ring? I'd kind of like to know. Well, that wasn't very nice to say to that beautiful gal. Oh, I like that. The guy stands there, insults the gal, and then has the audacity to ask her for another drink. Yeah, right. Okay, so we have now a second gal meeting the first gal. Gee. Well, the question is, um, I guess the next couple of questions would be, how did the guy ever find these two? And more importantly, when she knocked him out, did he suffer just a mild head injury, or did he suffer something worse? I'd like to know. Uh, okay, so now this movie, this little video, is turning into some kind of alien adventure. Hmm. Now, that might be interesting, huh? Okay, well, that was an interesting tale. Um, Let me know in the comments below the answers to any of these questions. Um, I didn't know you guys. I didn't see the credits at first, but I didn't know you guys had actually sung the song yourselves. If I'd have known that, I'd have let the audio go through. But you know how YouTube is with copyrighted music, so I wasn't sure what was going on. Anyway, thank you very much for entering that into our video response wars contest. Congratulations once again, and if you get a chance, any of the rest of you who's watching me right now, if you get a chance to go over to Crazy Josh Cravy's channel, go ahead and check out his video, and I hope you enjoy it. Interesting. It was very different. Okay, now I guess we can do one more little thing. What exactly the video response wars? Well, if you look through my playlist, one of them says video response wars. Um, what happened was a long time ago, there was a channel called Hemi Jeep, and they had the comment wars. And a lot of people, to try to win the comment wars, would just go comment, 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 and that's how they would win. Well, the thing was that I wanted a contest on my channel, but I wanted to be a little harder. So what I wanted people to do was to flood me with as many videos as they possibly could, and the one who shared with me the most amount of videos um, would actually win the contest for the particular week. And this is very much explained in the Video Response Wars playlist. The first couple of times, what they would do is they would post the videos onto that Video Response Wars video, and I would have all the links and everybody could see them. Well, then YouTube changed their entire format, and so I said, okay, I have this Speed Learner fan page. I want you guys to post Video Response Wars entries to that Speed Learner fan page, which will stay there forever. And then whoever posts the most amount of videos, I would go through that particular week and just review them and congratulate people for winning the Video Response Wars. Well, I haven't had a whole lot of contestants. People haven't been uh, posting videos and then sharing it on my Facebook fan page. And Crazy Josh Cravey did this, and I'm glad he did. But I want those videos to be your videos, not something that you saw on some other person's channel, because I'm going to declare them the winner, not you. Okay? So I want it to be your video. I want you to create videos, post them up on my Facebook page. I will look at them, I'll review them, and congratulate you for participating in the Video Response Wars. That's what the Video Response Wars is all about. And I haven't had too many winners over the years. If you want to create something, post it up on my Facebook page, and I will review your video and congratulate you on winning the Video Response Wars. So please do that. I'd love to see your content. Okay, so I think the last thing we'll do is I will do this. I know Survival on a Budget Made Easy has been making videos. I have not had a chance to review any of them lately. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because I know his videos don't contain a lot of copyrighted music. So let me see what he's posted up here tonight. Okay, hold on. Let me turn up the volume just a little bit. No, I don't want that. That's better. There, that's better. Okay, guys, still with me? Good. Okay, the video I'm going to review now is from Survival on a Budget Made Easy. It's called Sunset Cemetery and Drabruler Cemetery. I believe that's how it's pronounced. We'll find out in this video. Blur. Okay. At the beginning of your video, Survival on a Budget Made Easy, I was watching you go over a very rough road. It doesn't look like it was well maintained at all. Uh, I presume you have some kind of a vehicle that can go over that. If I were to take my vehicle over that, well, I might have some repair work on the vehicle afterwards. So I hope you have a pretty sturdy vehicle that can do that. Okay, strip mining. Interesting. What kind of things were being mined? That would be the next question I'd have. And are there any famous people buried in the Sunset Cemetery? Well, I have to admit the cemetery itself is very well kept. Um, I'm sorry that they had to actually put a cemetery inside of another cemetery. And I'm also sorry to hear about the vandalism that's been going on. Now that's pretty bad. Um, well, I'd ask you. I guess I would ask you this: why would they have to move the other cemetery and put it inside of this cemetery? And was there a problem with the strip mining that was causing the land to falter or whatever? I think that'd be very interesting to find out. Um, I see this this whole cemetery is surrounded by a lot of trees. What kind of trees surround this cemetery? I'd like to know that as well. Ooh. I presume at some point you actually owned a German Shepherd. Oh. Well, I guess the next thing I would be asking is, are people still being buried at this cemetery? Um, how big is the cemetery? That'd be nice to know. Well, I have to admit, your audio does cut out from time to time. Well, I guess that answers that question. I guess the Yeah, I guess people are still being buried out there. Uh, be kind of interesting. I would personally want to congratulate the guy who actually, or gal, whoever it is, that's maintaining this cemetery. They're doing a very good job. That's kind of a shame. Well, that was an interesting video. Ah, I see that ILRS&C is still here. Um, well, that was interesting. I hope that Smart Low Budget Made Easy. He answers my questions. But anyway, I really have nothing else to cover tonight. Uh, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight and for staying with me and watching all this. I hope you learned something tonight. I really do. And um, I want to thank Crazy Josh Cravey for participating in the video response wars. And I hope that every one of you has a great week that coming up this week. Try to stay warm. I know around here it's going to be really tough to stay warm. So I hope you guys do that. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys very much for watching this particular video. I will tell you more in a future video. So I hope that you guys will stay tuned.